We have decided to make our own hotel breakfast today. We're still at the Novotel Suites in Hanover, but the breakfast here was like €22. We tried it yesterday and it was fine. Had a lot of good options, and there was some sort of like extra weird stuff that made it up to €22, I guess. Stuff like they had like
avocado chili poppers or something.
Avocado chili poppers, yeah. Had some sort of
Rusty
Rosties. They were Rosti sticks. Were nice actually. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'd quite like it if they did those in the UK, but they don't, do they? But we had some from Domino's last night as well, so it must be something they do here. Really good. We had it had like camembert, and they had like they had a proper coffee machine that you could get decent cappuccino out of. It was pretty good, but €22 is quite a lot, isn't it? And it's sort of like the place we stayed before in Prague was €6. There wasn't really loads of stuff, but you felt like you got really great value because you could have as much of the limited options.
€22 each as well.
Yeah, €22 each. So it was €6 each in Prague for like a limited selection, but you could have as much as you want. So you felt like you got really good value. Here, it was €22 a person, which is a lot, and we could have what we wanted. And actually, it wasn't very big downstairs, and there was quite a few people who probably paid €22 and were queuing for a while, waiting for other people to go. So anyway, we have gone to Kaufland last night, and we've got some cheeses, we've got some salami, I think it was like butter queso was one of them. So butter queso there. Good way to put it that round that way. They must have done the labels differently on each pack. Anyway, queso Aufschnitt, which is actually it's got all different ones in it. I didn't realise, Rach. It's got 7 pieces, I think. 4 pieces of Edamer, 2 pieces of Tilsiter, and 1 Emmental.
Oh, it's got different ones, is it?
Yeah, although it might be more than that, because I'm sure there's more than 4, 6. No, it is 7, yeah. So we picked up some strawberries. Interestingly, they're British strawberries, so they were selling British strawberries here. We got some croissants, some sultanas and cranberry mix, some vitamin, multivitamin drink, which is pretty nice. We've had that before, I think, and some little mini salami things. I don't know what this is. This is like, you said this was turkey, so we got turkey as well, which is pretty nice. I've had some of that, like that. Emily really likes salami, so we got that. We already had coffee in the room. We got milk from, I think it comes with coffee creamer as well, so you can actually sort of use that, but we had some milk from Kaufland anyway. So yeah, you've got a fridge in here, so you can just get stuff the night before and have a breakfast, really. So if you're thinking of trying to save some money while you're staying here, because it's not the cheapest. I mean, we had points, didn't we? So we stayed at a lot of Ibis budgets and stuff, so we had some points to put towards. I think it took about €40 or something off the price of the booking here. But if you're trying to save money on the breakfast, then there's definitely options. There's a Kaufland right next door, so you're literally like a few minutes walk away, aren't you, from it? So you might as well do that. There's also an Ibis budget next door as well. I don't know if they'll let you use the breakfast there as well. Could potentially ask in there if you wanted to save a bit, but again, they're probably quite pricey even for breakfast, for probably a much limited selection. But anyway, really good. We're just going to get ourselves filled up with food, and then we've got to head on the road. We're going to be going to heading towards Amsterdam, because we've got to get a ferry, and the ferry is an overnight ferry to Newcastle, so we're really looking forward to that. So we did that once before in the other direction, and it was really good. And we've got like a buffet lunch booked, buffet breakfast, which actually was pretty expensive even compared with this. So, but it was really good. I mean, it was best buffet we've ever had, wasn't it, Rach? I would say one of the best buffets we've ever had. So we are looking forward to that. That's. Oh, also the room was really good. Just to say that. You know, all the facilities were good in here. They're a little bit small. The toilet was a little bit too cramped for me, but it was fine. It was totally functional. There was plenty of space to put bags and stuff, and the safe was really good as well. We used that. You know, that was really handy, really easy to use. There's instructions on it as well, like on the front, but they were really easy to use. Shower was perfect. Worked perfectly well. You know, good temperature, good pressure, can't really complain about that. Shower gel, shampoo are fine. I quite like the ones with bergamot, but this is some sort of rituals one, white tea or something, but it's fine, does the job. Was the bath alright, Rach? Did you use the bath? No? No, so we didn't use the bath, but it looks pretty good, to be honest. I reckon it would be very similar to the shower. Sink wasn't so good, but I don't think that would be the same in every room, but ours just blocked up a bit, so it just needs probably cleaning. But yeah, it was kind of blocking up, wasn't it? Yeah. One thing that we thought was that there was no curtains, which there isn't. There's only one bit there, and they slide across. But what you do have is blinds. We didn't realise till the second night. So you can pull your blinds down, and essentially it operates as if you've got blackout curtains, really. So yeah, TV worked all fine with the Fire Stick, no issues with that. Wi-Fi was really good, really fast, never dropped out, never, you know, even when it was like the time everybody would be here, just kept plugging away, no problems at all, streaming. Yeah, pretty good place. Really happy with it, really. It was yeah, pretty good place, really. I've never used the microwave, but you do get a microwave, and you get like kind of sink area. Coffee, does that taste good?
Don't try it.
Give it a go. I haven't tried it yet because it was a bit hot.
Yeah.
Still hot? Yeah, so I mean, it's just packet coffee, instant coffee, but it's fine. Yeah, we had a good time here. You know, I think we would stay here again. The parking wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's just a multi-story. The only thing is we haven't paid for it yet, so we'll find out whether we turn up and they've clamped the car or something, but I think it'll be alright. Nobody sort of mentioned anything about parking being weird, so all reviews that had it seem to say, oh, it's just across the road. Pretty good. Yeah, so we're getting ready to head on. think this might be the last time that we're filling up, so we're just getting fuel as we're leaving Hanover. Again, I have to be very gentle with it because it might just sort of click off. Not pulling it very hard at the moment. I've got kind of knack of it now. Basically, I think it's like a breather pipe or something is blocked. But yeah, it's a bit of a pain. So it's 158 euros, 1589. So when you add, yeah, so it's practically 159 euros. Definitely in more expensive fuel territory now since, well, since Prague it wasn't exactly cheap, 130 a litre pounds. Back in Romania we were like 117 or 120 or something. And then in Bulgaria it was as low as like £1.8, £1.9, something like that. So definitely more expensive here. This is like an Aral, and we're it's only a few, like, you know, it's not far. It's just out around the corner from the hotel. So, but yeah, it's got quite a lot of spaces. Looks like a washing area as well if you want to get your car washed. So it's pretty good. Yeah, so just going to get this filled up, and I wonder if it'll be the last time because I think we're on about half a tank, and so probably only going to be about sort of 40 litres or something. I think we'll fill it up, and then hopefully that will get us across the sea, at least to Newcastle. So we'll have to see how far really, because we're not going to be belting it down there or anything, but let's see how we get on, how whether we need to fill up again before we leave the continent. But we're heading down to Amsterdam. I think it's about a 4-hour drive, so it's not too far. We've given ourselves a bit of time. We left just after 9, nearly 9:30. I think, yeah, it's just coming up to 9:30 now, so yeah, so yeah, let's crack on and let's see if we can make the ferry on time. Heading away from Hanover. We just filled up. We think it's cheaper here in Germany as opposed to in Holland, so we don't want to fill up in Holland. I think the fuel wouldn't have made it to what we had was half a tank. We wouldn't have made it to IJmuiden, I don't think, or very just about maybe. And then we would have needed probably to fill up in Holland to be safe when we got into Newcastle. I don't think we'd have made it personally. I think we'd have had to have filled up somewhere on the route. And the thing is, the motorways are very expensive, and in Holland it's 30 cents a litre more expensive than in Germany. So it's quite high priced over there. So really our best option was to fill up in Hanover. So that's what we've done. It's saying that we're going to arrive at 2 o'clock at the ferry port, which is when check-in opens, which isn't a great result actually, because I thought we'd be able to stop somewhere and still turn up for the Autobahn. We're on the 6, which I think is like one of those littler roads heading towards the 2. Now we should rejoin the 2, which we left the other day when we arrived in Hannover, and head back towards the west. I think we're firmly back in the west now though, which you can tell by the weather. It's raining this morning. It's only spitting, but it's enough to annoy you because obviously you've got the camera going and stuff, and I've never fully waterproofed the camera setup outside, so hopefully there won't be any issues. A little bit of light rain should be fine. If you have a storm or anything bigger than that, you know, it's pretty bad. But we think it should be okay. It just spoils the footage a little bit, but what can you do? We just need to head on. But yeah, the weather definitely in Prague was absolutely boiling. That was kind of the end of the good weather, and Prague did rain in the morning, or it was kind of, we woke up and it had been raining overnight, so Prague is kind of towards the west and sort of probably a little bit east, a little bit west, so sometimes gets, you know, better weather. It was absolutely lovely on the day out there, but we did have a nice day out yesterday. There was a spot of rain yesterday as well, but it was never enough to like kind of drench you or anything. It was just literally spits, but yeah, you know, but it was a nice cool day. We enjoyed it, and so we can't really complain. But we would have preferred it not to be raining like this on the way out. But yeah, we're heading away now, and I think we're just about to join the 2. I think we're heading towards Dortmund initially. So yeah, we're going to be on our way, and hopefully we'll make it on time to the ferry port. But it does look a bit risky now. But we thought we'd left with plenty of time, but hopefully we'll be alright. But we're heading on, and let's see how we get on. Just crossed into the Netherlands. Unfortunately, we didn't get a schnitzel before we left Germany. Did think about stopping and getting something to eat, but unfortunately I don't think we've got enough time. Well, we probably have, but belt and braces. We're now basically predicted to get to the port at 2:23, which is 23 minutes after check-in opens. Apparently the last check-in is at 4:30, so we will be quite early, but well, we hope we'll be quite early. But from past experiences of having, you know, maybe a traffic jam occur, or you could have the road closed suddenly for an hour, these things can happen. And so if you sort of stop and get something to eat, it's nice, but you can end up sort of paying a price. I mean, one time we were driving down to the Austrian border. I don't remember what was the name of the city. Do you remember, Rich? There was on the Austrian border, and we were staying there, and then suddenly there was a traffic jam. We were going to get there quite late, something like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, 2 hours stopped, and then basically we were, you know, then predicted to get there at 11. We had to get food. You know, by the time we were there, it was like midnight. So, you know, that was okay because hotels don't move. You can get there late, but you can't really get there late for a ferry because the ferry will leave without us. So we have to be mindful of that. And I think the sensible thing is to get there as early as possible and then see what we do. You know, we've got some snacks and stuff in the car, so it's not like we can't eat stuff, but yeah, we just need to be a bit sort of cautious, really. Just things that have happened in the past have taught us that. So we just need to keep that mindset, really. I'm sure we probably would have got away with it. Unfortunately, though, there didn't seem to be a place that we kind of went into an area where there was one of these surveys places where they do the schnitzels. I think it's where they do them. But it didn't seem to be, you know, we didn't look at it carefully, but it looked like a salad bar. So we were just a bit like, I don't know if they'll have schnitzel. So it's just one of those things. We're not exactly certain where they are. We've had them before on the route, but you know, everywhere's kind of different. Germany's quite regional as well. So anyway, we're just going to crack on and head on to Amsterdam. Hopefully getting there around about 2:20. So next stop hopefully will be the ferry port. Traffic jam, which is what, like I said, there's no way we could have stopped, because actually that is what's happened. We're stuck in a traffic jam, some sort of crash car further up. So probably we might miss the ferry just for this reason alone. Another thing is the car's making a pretty loud noise every so often, like there's a kind of grinding noise. I don't know, but I think it's related to the drive. Something, I don't know, maybe it's something stuck in there. I don't know what's happened, but there was a weird smell. We're not sure if it's coming from this car or from outside. So we kind of think we're going to break down anyway once we get through this traffic jam. But yeah, some sort of crash car up ahead. It's saying 14 minutes, but we've been here like ages now. But first we thought we were leaking fuel. We might be, I don't know, but at the moment it's sort of still suggesting that we've got quite a lot of fuel and it doesn't seem to be going down. So we don't know if it's that or not, but we don't think it is now. But there's definitely a noise. We're just sort of hoping that whatever it is not fatal, if you like, and we can make it to the ferry still and at least like kind of limp home, but my sort of intuition and experience in bad cars tells me that's probably not going to be the case, which is a real shame. So we paid quite a bit of money for the ferry and everything, so probably going to lose that and probably have to call the breakdown people and hopefully they'll be able to get us home, but I don't know. So let's see what happens. Nothing has happened yet, apart from we are now an hour late for the check-in time. We've still got another hour and a half leeway, but if there is a problem with this car, then we're gonna probably not make it anyway. I mean, very unlikely. But it's a bit depressing, isn't it, Rach?
Yeah.
But what can you do? I tried pulling over, I looked underneath the car. I tried to work out what was going on. There is some dripping. You do get dripping from the air conditioning. So, but if I turn on the air conditioning, there's a sort of smell. Yeah, there's quite a smell, like a metally smell coming out of the air conditioning. Might be something to do with the air conditioning. Maybe that stuff. So we can turn that off. I mean, we're not desperate for that at the moment, but it's definitely a smell coming out of there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So we're not in a good way. So we're just gonna see how we get on, but we don't know what's going to happen at the moment. But I'm not predicting good things at the moment. We need to get out of this traffic jam first, and then kind of see whether we break down straight away after that when we get up to like faster speed. So we have to carry on, I think, at the moment, because there's no way the breakdown people are going to get to us very easily here anyway. So yeah, it's just taking a long time for this traffic jam to end, and you know, it's supposed to be like 20 minutes, but now it's like added on an hour, like from what it told us at the beginning. Yeah, you probably can hear that noise. We don't know what it is. It just suddenly happened at the beginning of this traffic jam, didn't it?
Yeah.
There's a kind of noise. I thought I went over something, but I don't know if I did. I couldn't see anything underneath that's hit anything. I have no idea what's going on, basically. So when I looked underneath, everything looked fine, but it's obviously not fine. But let's see. We're just gonna have to keep on and see what happens, basically, later on once we get out of here, because I don't think anything is going to present itself until after this this jam, really. know why we're still carrying on, because there is a grinding noise. Not sure what it is, but we've looked underneath, we can't see anything, we can't work out what it is. It's just something grinding on something, obviously to do with the wheel turning. I don't know, stone in there or something, I don't know, but I don't know. We're carrying on at the moment. We're hoping to just get to the boat, and then if we get to the boat we can sort of then limp home, I suppose, because it's driving and it feels completely like normal driving, just making that noise, but we don't know why. And there's a weird smell down there, we don't know what that smell is. It's not diesel, because it's not like running out of diesel quickly or anything, so we don't really know. We turned off the air conditioning, we just think something's hitting it and maybe making a noise, but we don't really know what it is. But we're just kind of hoping that we can get home. We probably should call the breakdown people, but we just know that if we do, we're not getting on that ferry, so rather get on the ferry and then call the breakdown people when we get to Newcastle, to be honest, wouldn't you, Rach? So we don't know, that might be a bad decision, might be a good decision, but we're going to just be very careful driving, like as slow as we can really, and just kind of let's just try and get there and get on this boat and see what happens then, you know. But we may not make it to the boat, we've no idea yet, so hopefully we will, but we don't know what could happen. But we just need to go very careful, and if anything happens we'll just have to deal with that then, rather than sort of like calling them now, because we just don't know. It doesn't seem to affect the way the car drives, so we're hearing a grinding noise, but we're not exactly sure what it is, whether it's getting worse or better, we don't know. So it might just be something trapped in there, lodged in, that's not going to do anything, but it is a worry. We're a bit scared, but we kind of think we've got to get to that ferry, and then when we get to the ferry we can sort of limp home, because it seems to drive all normally around, so you know, there seems to be full movement. Dangerous traffic situation just flashed up on the thing, but that's not to do with us. That's just the messages you get on the car. I think it's some sort of sat-nav-y type thing. Anyway, we're going to crack on, and hopefully we do make it to the boat. But we can't keep stopping to look to see what this thing is, because we can't work it out. We've tried looking, haven't we, Rach? Just no idea what it is. But the car's not pulling, it's not behaving weirdly. It's just a noise that is scary, but there's nothing else happening, do you know what I mean? And it seemed to be after we hit some object, or we don't know, we just had a bump in the road and then suddenly it was doing this. Now you can hear the noise in the background, I'm sure, so no idea what it is. I guess we'll have to just find out once we get back to the UK, if we can get that far. Might be a bad idea to carry on, but we're not sure really. We're just going to we think we need to get on that boat, we need to get back into the UK, and then we've got like multiple breakdown covers and stuff over there, whereas we've only got one for here, and it's a bit iffy, to be honest with you, because I think you're only allowed to like be out of the country for a certain period of time. We're probably over that, so you know, you don't know if they're going to help you or not really. But it is what it is, you can't get anything better, so yeah, so we're going to head on and see what we can do. But it is a bad noise that is a bit scary really, and we didn't expect it so late in the trip. We were going along so well this morning, everything seemed fine from Hanover. We still had a bit of a noise that we'd had since Prague, but it's more of an airy noise, it wasn't like this sort of noise. So anyway, we're going to crack on. I need to open the window again because it's quite hot, because we turned off the air conditioning. So we're on our way, and fingers crossed and touch wood, that we make it safely. So we're still moving at the moment, touch wood, dodgy dashboard wood. We can still hear the noise. Rachel's theory is that it might be the brake disc grinding with the caliper or something, did you say? We're not sure exactly, but something down there making a noise. Brakes feel fine, pressing the brakes, all working. Nothing feels weird, you know, don't know, you know, if it would or not. Definitely feels very strong, the brakes, so I'm sort of happy with that. But yeah, we're just kind of like now 47 minutes, 58 kilometers from the port. So again, we're still thinking that it's a calculated risk, but we kind of believe that it's better to break down in Newcastle than here. I mean, not to say that if we get to Newcastle, you know, we might drive and see how we get on. But if it feels, you know, we might have another look as well, just to see whether we can see anything else. But I think our plan is that, you know, we're worried about breaking down over here because we're not sure the breakdown people will help us. They probably will, but we have broken down when we were slightly over. Well, again, I don't know what the rules are. I think, you know, we're slightly over the time that you're meant to be out of the UK for, although we do have 12-month breakdown cover, but it only gives you a certain amount of time period that you're allowed to be out. Anyway, by the by, we think that there'll just be a lot more disruption, and we paid a lot of money for this boat as well, so if we can kind of have the boat, you know, if we can like kind of, because basically we've got all the dinner booked, we've got everything on the boat book, so it makes sense that if you can keep moving, why would you call them up? Because it could be something quite trivial or something that doesn't mean anything. Obviously there's a problem, you know, there is a problem because it's making a noise, but we don't know what that is. We're not 100% certain, but the car is behaving normally, touch wood. And really, apart from the noise. But then we kind of think, right, you know, let's get, you know, if we've got this far, I mean, we're halfway to the port from where we were, probably more than that now actually, probably about 80 kilometers on that we've gone. We kind of want to get into that port, and then we want to get on that boat, and then we want to kind of get back to the UK, and then if we did break down, we can be towed right back to our house, no issues at all. All our stuff in the boot and everything. I mean, there's stuff in there we just can't carry. I mean, we had a big breakdown in Germany, you know, quite a few years ago when we moved to Bulgaria and we first was moving to the house. And yeah, well, we already owned the house, but we moved there full time. Anyway, basically, you know, we broke down and our transfer case went, and it was like a manual X5. Now they don't even make those anymore. But yeah, we got that. We broke down in like where was it? Deggendorf, in the south of Germany, in Bavaria, and you know, it was a complete nightmare because we had to wait ages to get to the hotel. We had to wait. We had to go out and buy suitcases, put all our stuff in. We still didn't have everything out of the car because, of course, we were moving. So it was a pretty bad day, and we didn't have two kids to deal with as well. So it would be a pretty bad day if that happened again. I mean, that was a different experience because we had like loads of stuff. The car was packed up even in the back, and I think it was the sheer weight that did the transfer case probably. Just was overloaded, I would imagine. I don't know. We don't really know to this day. I mean, they never said that to us, but transfer case went, and you know, luckily we managed to get a Bulgarian guy to, you know, go and get the car and bring it back. And it took months to get the car back. Do you know what I mean? You know, he fixed the car. That was why, because he had to fix it as well as bring it. Yeah, and he was like, yeah, I can fix it, bring it to you. And in the end, yeah, maybe about a month or so later, we got the car. But, you know, we had another car in Bulgaria that we could drive at the time. I suppose we do in the UK still. We still have the Range Rover available. But I think the thing is, this car is moving, that car wasn't moving. I mean, you definitely were stuck. And it was a lot of hassle. Whereas if we break down in the UK, they will take us home with all the stuff in the back. And I don't think that would happen here. I think you'd either have to have the car, you know, the insurance company or the breakdown company might like repatriate the car depending on everything, but it's just going to be a lot more hassle than getting on that ferry and then seeing what happens in Newcastle, because that would, you know, if we're fine to carry on, we'll carry on, but if we did break down in Newcastle, I'm sure we'd be home by the end of the day with all our stuff. Whereas I really don't believe that would happen today here. So I think we just need to keep it on, and I think we just need to hope that it's not too bad. Obviously we're nervous because we don't, you know, we're hearing a loudish noise. We don't want to like do anything dangerous. But certainly we've been driving for like 100 kilometers, a bit less than 100 kilometers like this, and nothing's happened. So I think we have to just keep going. There's no warnings on the car, there's nothing shouting at us about it, so it's obviously something to do with the brake disc or something like that, the caliper. I think we just have to limp home and see how we get on, and I think that's the right thing to do. But yeah, I mean, it was a kind of like, we thought we were on the home stretch, and we were like, you know, talking about, oh, Emily, how are you looking forward to the boat and all this kind of stuff. And so to have this sort of thing happen right at the end of it is kind of a bit weird. Normally these things happen like almost immediately, I think. You would like start moving and it just immediately breaks down, or at least like part way through a journey, but not like at the end of it. Anyway, we did hear a weird noise, like, you know, but it certainly wasn't this sort of noise in Prague. But right, we're gonna head on, hopefully get to that port. Hopefully they don't like stop us getting on the boat or anything. And yeah, we're just gonna hope that we make it. So let's see how we get on.